Death is one of the most certain things in life, and preparing for death is something which the Sharia holds highly. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Amjad Mohammed and I've spent my day here at Eternal Gardens in Sidcup, London. So the question which came in is, how much can Muslims prepare for the death of a loved one or even their own death? Now, when we look at the books of fiqh, we find that the context in which they speak of is a time when, living in Muslim majority lands, there would be the state, the sultan would take responsibility for the graveyard, or pious, rich, wealthy Muslims would make awqaf, give their lands in order for people to be buried there. However, here we are in the 21st century, and particularly here in London, we find ourselves in a completely different context. As a Muslim minority, we don't have a state that will support our religious needs in particular to prepare Muslim graves as such. Therefore, what we find is preparing and ensuring that we overcome those issues later on down the line. We need to look at those options in particular. So, graves and preparing for graves, we know that there's a cost associated with it. We know that space is limited here in London. And we also know that it can be a very difficult and emotional time. So preparing for that, planning for that is essential. In fact, I concurred and I wrote that this is something which is praiseworthy to do, taking all those matters into consideration. So in terms of preparing for that, the costs associated with it, planning for it, and ensuring that we don't go through those difficult conversations at a time of heightened emotions, this is something which I recommend here in Sidcup Eternal Gardens. Jazakumullah khairan for listening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.